together a hearing on domestic violence at Bedford Hills Prison, where 12 women testified about the abuse that they experienced and that was not taken into account in their cases. 11 of the 12 had killed their abuser. From that hearing and from working with the women, we developed what is now known as Steps to End Family Violence. And the women at Bedford had asked, as one of the recommendations for change, to really work with women to prevent them from getting to prison in the first place. And so that's why the P of STEPS is prevention, and we really have, over the years, concentrated more and more on the prevention aspects.
The Alternatives to Incarceration program is the oldest program at STEPS, and we work with women defendants with histories of domestic violence and abuse.
All my clients are at Rikers. My day there is like seeing the new admissions, interviewing the women who have a history of abuse and they've been charged with manslaughter, murder, or any kind of domestic violence charge.
Anybody who's arrested and charged with a crime is assigned an attorney at arraignment. We work with their attorneys. You know, we get the permission, we work with their attorneys, we offer our services.
We kind of do legal case management and make sure that their lawyers are providing adequate services and help their lawyers with whatever they might need as far as the investigation or gathering documents or research.
When you're incarcerated, honestly, it's very rarely that people walk in there and say, listen, you need some help, our program can help you.
Our Alternatives to Incarceration program continues to work with felony level, very serious cases, obtaining dramatic savings to both the city and the state in both jail costs as well as in prison costs, because these are women that are facing very long sentences.
With this program, a lot of women who are facing many years behind bars have been safe from going into prison.
Taking Steps is our newest program to provide counseling, advocacy, referral, and legal services to women survivors of domestic violence.
We get a lot of hotline calls where women are in a crisis and they need immediate attention. We provide an intake and a psychosocial assessment of battered women, and we also assess their needs of safety.
Making sure that the women have a sense of where they can go, what they can do to keep themselves and their children safe.
There's a lot of advocacy that needs to be done in terms of, oh my goodness, everything. Medical, housing, legal, obtaining a rap sheet.
Women come to us who are battered women, and first of all, they may not even know what all their legal issues are. That's really one of the first and key things that we do, is we talk to them and find out what their legal needs really are.
We also go to court with women and help them apply for an initial order of protection and make sure that they get legal counsel and representation.
We'll interface with their attorneys the same as we do in the criminal justice system, and we'll give any help to those attorneys that we can.
I provide like one-on-one counseling for relapse prevention so that we can discuss ways to maintain a drug-free lifestyle. When a person has lived the kind of life and has been subjected to abuse, whether it's physical and or compiled with the substance use, what happens is that there's this huge stigma that this person will walk around with. it's really difficult to access other services.
There are also women that come in that have had past abusive relationships and can't seem to move on, and assessing their needs and seeing if maybe some in-depth counseling would help them better their lives and choosing better partners.
Most programs that deal with domestic violence do kind of a referral and crisis intervention. What STEPS is doing with this particular program to actually help the person acquire enough tools to handle her own life, not to need us anymore, not to need social services anymore, but to be able to continue constructing her life on her own. And that is crucial.
The Job Readiness program is a program that's directed for women who have been incarcerated at one time or another, and they're looking to get ready for work. We do an initial intake to find out where she is and what her needs are, what her skills are, and what her goals are, and we assist her in developing goals.
Well, the nature of the population that we serve really have a hard time. They have a lot of barriers that they face in returning into their community. The work that we do is very important. We don't only focus on employment, but we focus on the person.
Functioning on a day-to-day basis and functioning at their best, you know, is an issue, and we often have to overcome those hurdles first. We try to keep our clients focused, and we try to keep them positive and motivated.
When they come here, we assist them in resume writing, job search development, networking with employers.
I always say go ahead and, you know, get your training, because if you can, then if you get a skill that no one can actually take away from you, and it usually increases your chances of getting a job and keeping a job.
When they come in, or when you meet them at the facility, they're like, it's really hard, I can't make it. They talk about a lot of the barriers. So when someone acquires a position, or they're able to obtain employment, or they're successfully registered in school, then we consider that added success.
The Children's Therapy Program is actually a really special program. We provide a lot of different fun and unique therapeutic interventions for children who've been affected by domestic violence. So we do a lot of play therapies and art therapies individually with children. We also do a lot of role playing and cognitive kind of therapies. We offer children's groups and family art therapy groups for all the children in the program. We have actually 2 play therapy rooms filled with all sorts of toys and games and things like that to easily engage children and make them feel comfortable. I think also just having 2 rooms that are just uniquely for our children makes them feel special, makes them feel worthy. They begin to build friendships and have kind of a social circle of friends after being so isolated.
Teens are extremely smart, and I think they've been waiting for people to listen to them and to hear them, and when you do that, they have a great capacity to change. We provide individual counseling and group work, as well as advocacy services if it's for teenagers who are experiencing teen dating violence, have experienced teen dating violence, or have been exposed to domestic violence in their homes.
We began to really look at what was needed for teenage boys, and we knew that this was different.
We have a teen accountability program, which is the only teen accountability program in New York City. It would be called a batterers program, where young men who are abusive towards their intimate partners or mothers are mandated to come here. And we have a curriculum that talks about violence, dating violence, violence in home culture, gender roles, various topics related to teen dating violence.
If we can work with these young men, then we really could begin to do some prevention work.
The number one reason is we're a tool of accountability for the courts. So one measure is to see if the young men are taking the court's mandate seriously, and the other is to teach them some tools about healthy relationships.
Basically prevention work, educating the school community, whether it's parents, teachers, students, administrators, school board, whoever, on teen relationship abuse.
You go into classes and you do these workshops, and teenagers come to realize that they may not have noticed before that they are in some type of an unhealthy or an abusive relationship.
All of us probably could have used another person to hear another side or learn a different way relationships can go. We may be the first people to introduce a different way of doing it, a different way of thinking about it, and a lot of people out there probably never got that chance.
There are a total of 20 RAP schools in New York City at this point, and they're together. They choose students in their schools that have shown some leadership ability, and they get trained over the summer to become peer leaders, and they are to go back into the school to help the RAP coordinators facilitate workshops.
I heard about the program from my sister, and she told me like the people she got to talk to and help, and I was interested. I wanted to help those young youths who don't know.
At first when I told my friends, they was like, "How you gonna teach somebody like you the same age, like nobody gonna listen to you." But then as I do presentations, I come to find that people do actually listen. People who have been abused or people who have been abusers like actually listen to the stuff that you're talking about.
Since they're peer educators, they were the ones that were training me this year, and I actually got to do a workshop recently. And when I went to that workshop, I was a little nervous, but once I got into it, I realized that I was very knowledgeable on the subject after being trained by my peer educators and my coordinators.
When I first started, I was real nervous, and now that I'm learning, I'm not scared to stand up and do workshops for the community, for my peers, and I just want to teach other people about abuse. I think it's a very serious topic.
I feel like it's my job to educate my community now. I feel like I'm responsible now. I have to go out there and educate others so that they're aware of what's going on in their society.
I believe that the approach that STEPS has taken over all these years is a very holistic approach.
We try really to make our services comprehensive.
We tend to work as a team in order to address the issue and accomplish the goals for the client.
It's very exciting, fast-paced, passionate environments.
I think all those things make our program very unique.
If you help somebody change their life, they also impact the lives of others, especially mothers who have children, and they can raise these children in a different way, in a way that it's more humane and happier, so that they can be also better parents in the future. And so we're changing society one person at a time.
One client can be successful, then we've done our job. Yeah, that brings me joy.
I'm very proud of the work that we do. I think Sister Mary has been a pioneer, working with battered women. She has given her all, and I think everyone in this program is very, very passionate about the work they do with the women.
It's such a positive experience. I'm glad. I mean, to me, this is like one of the best jobs in the world, and I would have to say this is probably the most fulfilling job that I've ever had.
If this program didn't exist, there would be a lot of women out there without hope.